I have here a Google Pixel 6. The build quality of this device is excellent, but in terms of common repairs, this device is a little bit frustrating. I will elaborate more on that later. We are replacing the back glass of this device, and for a start, we need to hit the back glass. I'm using a very common heat gun. You can buy the cheapest heat gun and it's going to work for you. If you do not have a heat gun, you can use a hairdryer. It might take longer, but you can achieve the same result. The heating process of the device is only on the edge of the device first. We are going to start removing the broken glass from the edges of the device and going toward the charging coil. When I did the Pixel 6 Pro back glass replacement, I started from the center of the device and going out, but this time we are going to do the opposite. We are doing the opposite today to try to achieve a different result than what we achieved with the Pixel 6 Pro. The Pixel 6 Pro was repaired correctly, but something went wrong while doing that repair, and we will be trying to achieve a different outcome on this Pixel 6. So when the back of the device is hot, you can insert your metal tool. It's going to go through and come out on the edge of the device. I tried to use a guitar pick to remove the back cover of this device, but there is too much tape, too much double-sided tape added by Google on this device to be able to remove that with just a single guitar pick. While doing this back glass replacement at home, your best bet is to use a metal tool and try to do the same thing that I did in this video. The best thing that you can do also is to start at the bottom of the device. You need to start at the bottom of the device to avoid any damage to the charging coil. The wireless charging coil is something that you can get damaged while doing this repair. Another common damage that you can do here is puncturing the battery with a metal tool. You need to be very careful at how you insert your tool inside the device. The battery is right under the charging coil, and if you puncture the battery, you risk to create a fire, obviously severely damaging your device. That's why I said you need to be very careful while using a metal tool doing this back glass replacement. You can see I'm carefully removing the back glass on the edge of the device and making sure that I do not touch the charging coil. The charging coil is very fragile. The thing that is fragile is the circuitry on top of the charging coil. The circuitry on top of the charging coil is the size of a paper. It is very thin, and trust me, you do not need much force to cut through the circuitry on this charging coil. So at this moment, I have removed more than 80% of the broken back glass of the Pixel 6, and we need to test the charging coil to make sure that we did not damage it. And as you just saw it, the charging coil is still working. No damage has been done. So we can move on and remove the last 20% of broken back glass of the Pixel 6. If you are at this point with the wireless charging still working, you need to be very careful while removing the remaining broken glass, because it is going to be very difficult to save your wireless charging coil if you do not pay too much attention. Also, what makes this very difficult is the heat. At this point, you cannot use the heat gun too much on the wireless charging coil. The circuitry is made out of a very thin flex cable. If you use too much heat, it's going to burn or it's going to fall on itself, and you might have damaged the circuitry also. Seems like the wireless charging is done on this device, and I just cut through the circuitry myself. This was the second time that I did this back glass replacement on a Pixel device. The first time I did it on the Pixel 6 Pro, I started from the inside and going out on the edge of the device, so the wireless charging circuitry was torn down with the piece of glass that I was removing. So after that repair was done, I knew that the wireless charging coil and wireless charging circuitry was very fragile on this device, and the best way to remove it was to go slow and make sure that I am concentrated and try to remove the broken glass without cutting through the circuitry. But as you saw it, it is very difficult, delicate, and the circuitry is very thin. It's very difficult to remove the broken glass this way, the way that I show you in this video, without getting damage on the wireless charging circuitry. When you fold the wireless charging coil, you can see right under is the battery. So careful while using a metal tool, the battery is very exposed. So after 2 attempts, both failed, and I think I have another solution that might work, but it might take you more time to do this back glass replacement. That solution is simply to do a full teardown of the device. Make sure that you remove every single component out of the device, and you're left only with the shell and the frame of the device. After that, you're going to remove the wireless charging coil. You're going to use alcohol to soften the double-sided tape or the glue that is still attaching the wireless circuitry and the frame of the device together. After using alcohol, you're going to successfully remove the wireless charging with the wireless charging circuitry all together without any damage, and then you can replace the back cover of the device. And after you've replaced the back glass of the device, you reinstall the back glass, you can then proceed into the new reinstallation of all the components. After reinstallation of all the components, you're going to have a new back cover and the wireless charging coil is going to still be working. I'm 100% sure that that solution is going to work, but it's going to take more time and you will have to be careful while removing components not to damage anything in the process. Another solution, but a little bit riskier, is to pour alcohol directly on the wireless charging coil and the broken back glass. You're obviously going to do that after you check that your wireless charging coil is still working and you have only the wireless charging coil and broken back glass together left to be removed. You will have to adjust the amount of alcohol that you use or any solvent that can dissolve any type of glue. You need to make sure that you do not add too much because you have all your live component right under the wireless charging coil. The battery is there, the motherboard is nearby, and everything is there. If you pour too much solvent, you're going to create something messy inside your device. For the installation, you need B7000 or any other electronic glue that is used for cell phone repairs. Add multiple layers of your B7000 inside the device. Make sure that you do not add B7000 on the holes that you see on your device, and try to follow the same path that I took while adding B7000 inside the frame of the device. And after that, take your new back glass, use the camera bump on the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro as a reference point and apply pressure onto the new back glass, and it's going to stick to the device. Next, you're going to use some clamps. I'm using these professional repair clamps to apply pressure constantly to the device. You need the clamps on for at least 10 minutes and then you can go ahead and remove them. I have something to ask you guys. If you ever tried this back glass replacement on a Pixel 6 or Pixel 6 Pro, please let me know in the comment box how it went and if you were able to save the wireless charging pad and how you did it. Check this video for the camera glass replacement and I will see you there.